Hey guys, my name is Caitlin and I am the host of the Fix Your Fertility program. So I wanted to pop on today. It is a dreary day here. I hope it's nice and lovely where you are. But I wanted to pop on today and let you all know that we are having a guest speaker come on. Her name is Jenny. And Jenny is a Reiki master and a meditation instructor. She also helps women reconnect to their mind, body, and soul after pregnancy, loss, and infertility. So I'm so excited because today we are going to be talking all mindset and all kinds of really good things that will help you on your fertility journey. So let's see if we can get her on. All right, she should be popping on soon. So I'm excited to, oh, hello, how are you?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, yes. So you are in Chicago, right?
Yes, I am in a very snowy Chicago. I don't know if you can see that right now.
Yes, lovely.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah, I really love Chicago. It's pretty, and I think send some snow our way to the south because we always need a little bit more and
Yeah,
never have enough. Oh,
I think it's coming. I think the snow's just like being spread around right now. I mean, yeah.
yay.
Watch out.
Yeah, I know. So thank you so much for joining. I really wanted I introduced you a little bit, but I would really love for you to share your story because I think that it is very empowering.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. I love meeting everyone. Um, so yeah, you gave a great introduction. So I'm a pregnancy loss coach and a Reiki master, and I really help women go through their grief after miscarriage or ectopic pregnancy, whether you miscarried at 2 weeks or you miscarried at 42 weeks. If there is no timeline for that grief. We all feel it at different points. And what I do is help my clients reconnect to their bodies after loss. So often we can like super hate our bodies after it didn't do what it was supposed to do, right? It didn't carry a baby to full term. It didn't make us mothers. And there's a lot of like inner shame that comes in that and these deep levels. And so what I do is help my clients dive into those deep parts. We reconnect to our body, do a little bit of energy work with Reiki, and move forward so that you can bloom and blossom on your way to motherhood.
I love it. And I love what you said too about not only women who have gone through a loss that is very, very traumatic, but women who are still on their fertility journey. We just put so much hardship and everything on our bodies. We as women, we just take so much on. So I would love to talk a little bit more about that. And but first, before we do that, can you tell us a little bit what is Reiki exactly?
Yeah, let's start at the basics. Yes, so Reiki it's an ancient Japanese tradition. It dates back to the 17th century, but was recently, I say recently, in the 1900s. It kind of like made its way back to public life in Japan, and slowly but surely in the 1970s, it really started becoming more popular here in America and the States. And so what Reiki is it's actually life force energy. So this is energy that it's not my energy. When I do a Reiki healing, it does not come from me. This comes from source energy, God energy, divine, the universe. And what Reiki does is it allows the practitioner, such as myself, to channel in. I'm able to channel in that energy through my vibrations being raised, channel it in through my palm chakras, and be able to provide that healing to the clients. And so what it does is it just infuses I'm going to say client, the person sitting on the table or on the other end of the receiving end, since we do so much distance healing now. And it allows them to balance your chakras, kind of stir up those blockages that could be within you, whether it's from grief or trauma or you name it, something has happened in your life and that energy has set on you. And now it is a remembrall of sorts in your body, within your aura and your energy field. And so what Reiki does is come in and like box up and like break up all that and leave you feeling like very light, very aligned, and a little bit more clear, if that makes sense.
Yes, definitely. So I have personally had it done and I love it. I would love to have you come and live with me so that you could do it all the time because I just feel it feels so relaxing, afterwards. And you really do just feel like I feel a great sense of peace afterwards, So it's so good for stress relieving and, like you said, getting rid of so many different blockages. So how
Yes.
can Yes. So I know that you do a lot with mindset as well. So do you have any tips or tools that women can use while they're on their fertility journey? Because this can be such a journey, right?
Yes. Yes. So I'm also on this journey right now. So I am here with you guys, walking it as we speak. And the main thing that like the quickest thing to do, if you're like having a day where you're just like, this will never happen, I can't believe like that this is my like life right now and that this is the progress I'm in, and like, right, like we just mind trip and we go there. And sometimes, like for me particularly, I can work myself up so much to where like I pretty much just shut down, right? And so the number one thing that I work with my clients on is like coming into your body. And I think there's a lot going on right now about like mindfulness and meditation, and all of that is beautiful. But it really is that body connection, because this body that we're in, our breath, our lungs, they are our truth. In any given moment, no matter what is going on in the world, you can always come inward. So my number one thing, and I love doing this, is to come in with your breath. And so there's a 5-3-7 breath. Do you want to do it with me?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And for everybody watching, like, come on,
Yeah.
let's all breathe together for a minute.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, count to 5. Okay. We're going to hold it for 3. And then we're going to exhale, count to 7.
Perfect.
And this is a way for our bodies to slow down, for our breath to slow down, for our mind to think, oh gosh, wait, we're not in survival mode. We're not like having to overwork here. So let's just do it together. If you just want to close your eyes and maybe like get your shoulders, get your wiggles out, and let's just breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. And release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So
and just go
nice.
back to normal breathing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's
So how did that feel for you?
so relaxing. It's so true because we're always holding our breath, aren't we? And we don't even recognize it at times. Maybe we're excited or we're stressed or we just have so much going on or we're talking so much, we just don't recognize the breath like we should. That's so true.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's our main weapon when like going forward with infertility and coming on our journey to be mothers, when it hasn't it hasn't worked out how we planned it to, right? And so in these moments, I always say like our bodies has so much wisdom in it, and it does. When I had my ectopic pregnancies, I really hated my body. I thought I had done something to do this. Like I had caused it somehow. I thought I wasn't doing what I was designed to do as a woman, and all of that internal shame just set within me.
Yes.
And it wasn't until I kind of flipped my own narrative to realize, like, actually, my body is amazing. And I had tubal blockages from whatever issue beforehand, and now we're moving forward. And so when I finally befriended my body and actually began to love myself for who I am, for my journey in life so far, for everything that's gotten me up until this point. That is really when I started to be able to embrace this life and not be in this constant pain for not being a mother yet, you know. And so that's now what I do with my clients is I teach them, I teach you guys how we come in and we connect with our bodies, and really like just freaking love ourselves.
Yes, that's so nice. And you know, when you were just talking about your journey and all of the feelings that you were going through, I know that, you know, we all feel those feelings at times, but you think that you're alone in this, you know, journey. And even though the
Yeah.
journey is unique to you, you think that, you're the only one that is putting all this hate towards your body and all of this shame and everything. And once you're able to just release all of that and talk to other people who are going through it as well, it really does help to release that burden, don't you think?
Yes, yeah, it does. Yeah. And once you give yourself permission to release it, you know,
Yes.
you're giving yourself permission not to hold it anymore, not to hold that weight. And
Yeah.
you just release it out into the universe, out from your body. You know, it is a physical burden. So as we have these traumas, they just like stress, any stress in our life, it sits within your energetic body. So when something happens to you, like even if it's a argument with your partner, that maybe like blew up, heated argument with your partner, like all that anger, all that like kind of negative energy, it sits somewhere within your body,
Yeah.
somewhere within your energetic field. It sits there. And if you harbor it, so you are, by harboring it, I mean like you're holding on to it, you're not letting go of it,
Yes.
you are thinking about it a lot, right? Then it embeds itself within your energy field.
Hmm.
And it's not physical. We don't see it. We don't see like this massive boulder coming out of our shoulders or like, you know, under our arms. Like, so that's why it's sometimes hard for us to know, like, man, like, why am I having a pain here? Or, you know, why does my foot hurt all the time or something? And it's that energetic trauma that has been placed with us. And
Yeah.
so it's so important to be able to break that up and not harbor those thoughts, those feelings anymore.
Right. And it's so appropriate, just like what you were talking about with the breath work, when we're always holding that breath work, when we're always holding these traumas or these, anxieties and stresses inside and not releasing it. I mean, how can anything flow and move in our body if everything is so stuck all the time? If we are always so stuck, if we're always holding our breath and holding everything, in our body. So it is so, I mean, that's amazing to try to be able to release that at times. Do you have any other
Yeah.
or anything that you could offer ladies who are going through, fertility loss or infertility in general? I love that breath work.
Yeah. 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 Coming into your body is going to be so important because you know, a lot of times we separate the mind and the body, right? Like we're so active up here, we forget
Yes.
about this, but like you're birthing, you are bringing a soul into the world. And you are wanting your womb space to be as like friendly and as inviting, as comfortable as possible for this like little baby that's going to grow and blossom within you.
Yes.
And so I really feel that that starts with self-love, self-compassion, um, and just this like welcoming of yourself before you can welcome a soul in.
I love it.
Um, and
Yeah.
and maybe it's even maybe you have secondary infertility and you have a little one running around, you're having problems again, or for the second time or third time.
Yes.
And so really that self-love, self-compassion, it sounds like far-fetched, or it sounds like you know, something that's like, well, self-love, like what really is that, you know? And to me, like the one of my favorite things to do is a little quick inventory. So if you guys have like 5 minutes today, this is a great exercise for you. And I just call it your onlyness inventory.
Oh,
So for 5 minutes, just write down however many things that you can list of things that are unique to you, your onlyness.
Oh, I love
So this
it.
could be like my hair. I love my like little freckle on my ear.
Yes.
Or gosh, I sew, and I love to run. Like whatever it is, just make a massive list, however much you can think of. You can start with little things, and then it will progress naturally to grow into bigger things. And that is one of the first steps, to take this onlyness inventory and then look at it and reflect on like how much of a badass you actually are.
Yes.
And all of that love, just generate that gratitude for the list that you created. Really like bring that feeling of love into yourself as you're reflecting and looking at that list.
Yes.
And then continue to remember that list as you go forward.
That's perfect. Because how often do we take the time to really look at all of the things about ourselves and say all the ways that we love ourselves, right? And just the little tiny things that you never thought about, you never, took notice of before, to sit down for 5 minutes and really think about yourself. That's amazing. Yeah, definitely. I love that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's not selfish. It's like the opposite of that. It's really that like owning who you are and what you bring to the table, even if the table is just for you.
Perfect. Now, one more thing I would love to chat on is, can you tell me a little bit more about Reiki and how it works and how you can do this virtually? This is so neat. I just love that idea.
Yeah, it seems like virtual Reiki sessions was like designed for the pandemic, right? Like somebody created this in 2020, but it wasn't. It's been around for a while. So what the reason why we're able to give a session distantly, so I could give it to you, 200, 300 miles away, however
Yeah.
far, is because energy has no physical restrictions. So you and we can't walk through a wall to go to the other room. But energy doesn't work like that. It's fluid. It doesn't have time or space constrictions. And so we were able to send Reiki through intention. So I set the intention to send Reiki to my client. I name that client by name. I do all my Reiki sessions over Zoom. So it's a little bit of, yes, it's Reiki and you're getting your energy massage, but we're also chatting about where your blockages are. We're chatting about how you felt afterwards. Were there any downloads that came in? Do you feel released, rejuvenized? So it's like a mini coaching session
Uh,
plus some energy
yeah.
work.
So it's not a silent session. It's a little bit of talking in between and going over and really noticing how your body is feeling and talking to you about it. Okay. Love that.
Yeah, it's a mini coaching plus some Reiki. I also pull oracle cards for all of my clients too, and just see what comes up. I'm always just lovingly amazed at how point on they are each time, and you just feel so supported by the universe
Yes.
each time we do this. And so because physics has a lot to do with it, which I feel like in physics class in high school, I was like, whatever, like blowing that class off, right? Now I wish I'd paid a bit more attention because it's kind of what I do, but it's quantum physics is essentially like how we're able to send Reiki, and it is just a universal method that is able to
Wow.
do this. And I would say if you're doubting it, give it a try,
Yes.
because
Exactly.
it to me at first too, I was like, how does this work? And I'm always still amazed by it. But after your first Reiki session, as I'm sure you felt,
Yeah.
after years, you're like, whoa, like this is real. This stuff is real.
Mhm.
Because you feel, even though my hands are not physically over you because I'm 400 miles away,
Yes.
but you can feel the heat that the Reiki energy is generating as I move through your body.
Right. Right. And I feel like it's just another way for you to give yourself 1 hour of allotted time, of quiet time, to really just focus on yourself. And we as women, we just don't do that. We do not spend enough time on ourselves and really tuning in. Like you said in the very beginning, this is a great way to tune in, like what doesn't feel in alignment. And it's not really like a woo-woo thing. It's more just like, let me tune into myself. How am I feeling? Am I bloated? Am I feeling good? Am I feeling
Mhm.
stuck? You once you start to tune into these things, then you really can recognize these. But since we're always so busy, busy, busy all the time, we just never take time for ourselves. This is like a way for us to slow down and take a
Yeah.
little bit more note of what's going on, right?
Yeah, and like as we're on our fertility journeys, like this is what you need. The more time you can come in and have those moments of zen, those moments of you being with yourself,
Right.
calming, coming into your peace center, calming down, that those are all steps that are going to help us on our journey to being mothers.
Yes.
And it really also mentally helps us. Like it is, right? Like fertility is super hard if you are having struggle, and
Yeah.
you have to do IVF or you have to do IUIs. Like all of these things are mentally so difficult to get through. And so
Exhausting.
the more you can come in and center and allow yourself some time to just receive
Yeah.
that Reiki energy, receive that goodness, then the more you're gonna end up shining and hopefully end up with a rainbow baby at the end.
Yes, I love that. Now, what are some of the comments that people have said after they've done a session with you?
I feel like air. I
Mm-hmm.
feel
Yeah.
like I was laying in sunshine. I love that one.
Oh, yeah.
Some people said see like colors pass through,
Wow.
like when they close their eyelids and they see like colors swirling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the closest thing, because I've also seen colors in my own sessions, is the closest thing I can describe this is like the northern lights.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, the Aurora Borealis. Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just like feels really cool. Some people said like, "Oh, I felt like you were in the room with me. Like I felt
Wow.
like your presence was here." Um, and then most people feel light. After my very first session, I went in like probably about 2 months after I had an ectopic pregnancy, and after my session, I felt like somebody had physically taken the like 30-pound brick that was on my chest and just took it off of me. And
Yeah.
I walked out of there like, what the heck? Because I
Yeah.
want more. Yeah.
So is that when you were just hooked on it?
That was my first time. And after that, I went once a week until I felt like I could take on. I felt like I was balanced, is really the way to describe it. I felt like I was myself again.
Yeah.
After you go through grief and you go through loss, you do feel like a part of you dies and that you lose a part of yourself in it. And through that Reiki healing, that balancing of my chakras, like getting my energy field back to what it was, if not better, then I was really able to then move forward, and I started to allow myself to dive into my grief
Right.
because I felt like I was strong enough to take it.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and during this fertility journey, that so many of us are going through and on, for so long, sometimes it feels like it can be all encompassing, right? And so all you're thinking about, you're constantly Googling, like, what is this and what does this
Yeah.
mean? And constantly searching. But we have to take a step back. And I think with these tools like Reiki and acupuncture and acupressure and all different kinds of tools, we can take a step back and recognize we are not just our infertility, right? So this is just a little tiny part of our journey, and that does not define who we are, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yes. Oh, I love that you said that because you're absolutely right. I think sometimes we put ourselves in this bubble that like we are infertile and it took all the other things away from us.
exactly.
And it does feel like a thief, right? It feels like a thief in the night where you're just like, what happened?
Yes.
Um, And then once you're able to maybe just take a half an inch of a step back, and then as you take that half an inch, you get comfortable there, then you take another half an inch back, and then another, maybe some 2 inches at some point.
Right.
Then you're able to really look on the situation and reflect back on yourself. And it's hard. I'm not going to say that doing grief work or shadow work is easy. It's not. It's a lot of tears. It's a lot of frustration. It's a lot of moving through blockages. But what is worth it is the end result, which is being able to move through your motherhood journey without feeling like your walls are closing in every day.
Love it. Yeah, love that. Well, thank you so much. These have been such great tips and tools that we can take right now. You know, I'm totally going to do the 5 minutes of, what did you call it? Let's
Onlyness
see.
inventory.
Okay, I'm going to write 5 minutes of only. I love that. And then the breathing, you know, that has
5-3-7.
A daily thing. 5-3-7. Okay, I'm going to do it. And then where can people go to find you, you know, to maybe book a session with you and just to find out more about what you do?
Yeah, so I'm XO Jenny June, Jenny with an I. So same thing as my Instagram handle, xojennyjune.com. And you can book your Reiki session on there. You can find more about my one-on-one coaching that I offer. And also I'm on Instagram a whole lot. So if you're on here right now, you know where to find me. Click over, give me a follow, and I'd love to reach out and connect with everyone.
Yes. And before we go, the one-on-one coaching, is that just a lot of mindset, or what do you do with your clients with that?
Yeah, so it's rediscovering your light, 90 days to grow, heal, and bloom after loss. And so what we do in that series, we meet once a week, and we reconnect to your body. And so it is fully supported. We do a bunch of exercises, mindfulness, body connection, self-love. It's a big part of it. Self-compassion. And the onlyness inventory is one of the things that we go through in one-on-one, as well as a lot more. So it really is just a deep dive, personal time, fully supported to really kind of work through your grief and find yourself again.
I love it. That's perfect. You know, and this is, in general, this is such an incredibly stressful time for everyone, let alone if you have a fertility journey that you are on.
Yeah.
So it's like double. But I'm feeling everybody is super stressed. You know, maybe you're stuck inside. Maybe it's winter and it's dreary and everything. You're not getting enough vitamin D. You're not getting enough, you know, fresh air. You're not deep breathing or doing anything like that. So these are really good tools that anyone and everyone can use. So like, I'm going to try to get my partner to go and see you. So I think this would be great for men as well as women.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I do couples Reiki sessions. So if, you know, couples are interested, I actually did a couple yesterday for Valentine's Day. They booked couple Reiki sessions with me. And,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So it's not too late. You could still book those. But yeah, doing a couple session is really fun, and it's kind of both for the partner, because we talk a lot about us as the women, but our partners are going through so much stress too. You know, like they're just hanging on, and not the ones physically getting poked and prodded, but it is such a mental haul for them as well.
It is, and men, you know, seem to internalize things a lot more than we do. We as women, we love to talk about it, you know, all the time.
Right.
Kind of release some of those emotions. But men, they definitely internalize it. So I think Reiki would be such a good thing to kind of get things flowing and get rid of some of that stuck energy. So I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do gift certificates too. So if you ever want to just gift your partner with a surprise,
perfect.
Get a gift certificate.
Oh, well, are there any last words that you would love to add for those who are on the fertility journey? Anything else that you can share with us?
Yeah, I would just say to give yourself space, give yourself gentleness as you move forward, and remind yourself that the reason why you're on this journey is because you want to love a child. You want to embrace that child, be that mother that, really helps strengthen them and grow them. And so with that in mind, give that love to yourself right now while you're waiting to be a mother. Mother yourself. And that's one of the best tips I can give you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. Yes, I love it. Well, thank you so much. So I'm looking forward to working with you some more, and we'll
Absolutely,
keep in
girlfriend.
touch.
Thank you for having me on. This was so much fun. I totally loved it.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, enjoy the rest of
Yeah.
your day, and we'll chat. I will be chatting with you soon, and I'll be chatting with everybody else
Yes.
next Monday as well. So take care.
Perfect. See you guys.